Welcome to this explainer. Let's talk about hitting the big 40. It's kind of this wild biological turning point, right? It's basically the exact moment when the compounding effects of how we lived in our 20s and 30s finally catch up with us and our cellular regeneration starts to, well, slow down just a bit. But hey, if you've ever wondered how to maintain your energy, your strength, and your overall vitality as you cross into this new decade, you are in the exact right place. We're going to break down the specific mechanisms of aging, and more importantly, exactly what the science says you need to do to stay healthy, active, and energetic. Okay, let's just dive right in and ask the big question. What actually happens to your body when you hit this milestone? Because let's be real, almost all of us get that sudden, kind of rude awakening, you know what I mean? Like maybe you just sleep at a slightly weird angle and boom, you wake up with inexplicable lower back pain that lasts for 3 whole days. It happens. Our bodies naturally change. We can't ignore the biology. But to effectively navigate these changes, we first got to understand exactly what we're up against.
So biology does dictate a few undeniable truths as we age. For starters, our resting metabolic rate just naturally slows down. We also run into this phenomenon called sarcopenia, which is a gradual decrease in muscle mass. Get this, research shows that after age 30, you can lose 3 to 8% of your muscle mass per decade, and that rate actually accelerates after 40. Consequently, your risk for chronic diseases creeps up. But, and here is the really empowering part, the ultimate antidote to these biological realities isn't some mythical fountain of youth. It's literally just your daily habits. The truth is, healthy daily behaviors make a massive, measurable difference in how you age. They effectively put you right back in the driver's seat of your own biology.
To make this super clear, we've organized these 10 habits into a straightforward path today. First, we'll cover the new rules of 40. Second, fueling your physical engine. Third, protecting your internal health. Fourth, nourishing mind and soul. And finally, creating your vitality investment plan. All right, moving into section 1, the new rules of 40. As we get older, our risk for chronic diseases naturally goes up, which means we absolutely have to be proactive. Specifically, the science points to a significantly higher likelihood of developing heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and high blood pressure. But why does this happen? Well, at a cellular level, our bodies become slightly more resistant to insulin, making blood sugar a lot harder to manage. Meanwhile, our arteries naturally begin to stiffen up, and that forces your heart to work way harder just to pump blood throughout the body. Basically, it means we can't just coast on that effortless metabolism and cellular resilience of our youth anymore. The biological rulebook has been updated, and our lifestyle choices need a major update to match it. So let's look at how we respond to that in section 2, fueling your physical engine. Habit number 1 is prioritizing strength training. Remember that gradual 3 to 8% loss of muscle mass per decade we just talked about? Working out your muscles under resistance 2 to 3 times a week is your absolute best defense. But challenging your muscles, you actually trigger physiological adaptations that increase your resting metabolic rate and preserve crucial bone density. You're practically sending a loud signal to your body to stay strong. And the best part is, you don't even need an expensive gym membership. Bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, or some light dumbbells right in your living room are incredibly effective. Moving into habit 2, you really want to view protein not just as a nutrient, but as the essential building block your aging body is suddenly craving more of. You need to include specific, healthy protein sources with every single meal. Protein does 2 huge things for the over 40 body. First, it provides the amino acids required to maintain that crucial muscle mass. And second, it triggers immense satiety. Because protein takes significantly longer to digest than carbs, it blunts those annoying blood sugar spikes and keeps you feeling full longer. Aim for high-quality sources like fish, eggs, beans, lentils, Greek yogurt, tofu, and lean poultry. Just make it a non-negotiable rule to have a little bit of protein every single time you sit down to eat. Habit 3 brings us to your magic number, 150. Regular movement is hands down one of the best things you can do to offset the aging process. You should aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate physical activity every single week. Now, 150 minutes might sound like a lot at first glance, but let's break that down. That is just a little over 21 minutes a day. It is incredibly achievable. You absolutely don't have to run a marathon. Brisk walking, cycling, swimming, dancing in your kitchen, or even active gardening, it all counts toward that goal. It's all about consistent daily movement to keep your cardiovascular system engaged. Okay, shifting gears to section 3, protecting your internal health. Habit 4 is completely dedicated to your heart health. Your heart's preferred fuel includes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats. These foods provide the antioxidants and fiber necessary to keep your arteries flexible and clear.
On the flip side, we have got to aggressively limit highly processed foods, excess salt, and sugary drinks. Highly processed stuff is heavily linked to chronic inflammation, which basically puts your cardiovascular system into a state of overdrive and dramatically accelerates aging. Targeted nutrition combined with that 21 minutes of daily movement is the ultimate protocol for protecting your heart.
Habit 5 brings us to another super important set of numbers, 7 to 9. That is the amount of quality sleep most adults need each and every night. It is vital to understand that sleep isn't just some passive downtime. It is a highly active biological process. While you're sleeping, your brain's glymphatic system is actually hard at work, flushing out accumulated neurotoxins from the day, like a cleaning crew. Simultaneously, your immune system is releasing protective cytokines to fight off inflammation. If you aren't getting 7 to 9 hours, you're literally interrupting this crucial maintenance cycle. To fix this, the science strongly suggests maintaining a strict sleep schedule and proactively ditching screen time at least an hour before bed.
Habits 6 and 10 really go hand in hand to protect your internal systems. Habit 6 is about taking ownership of your biological data through regular medical checkups. Don't view this as a chore. It's empowering. Knowing your numbers, specifically your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar, allows you to catch potential issues years before they become actual problems. Pairing right with that is habit 10, avoiding harmful habits. If you smoke, quitting is straight up the biggest gift you can give your future self. And if you drink alcohol, doing so in strict moderation prevents unnecessary strain on your liver and your cellular health.
Let's move right into section 4, nourishing mind and soul. Because long-term stress wreaks absolute havoc on the body, habit 7 focuses heavily on managing it. When you're chronically stressed, your body is flooded with cortisol. Over time, that elevated cortisol leads to stubborn belly fat, immune suppression, and accelerated cellular aging. Now, you can't eliminate stress from your life, but you can train your nervous system's response to it. Simple, daily grounding practices like deep breathing, meditation, prayer, yoga, or deliberately spending time out in nature can dramatically lower your baseline cortisol levels and protect your physical well-being. Habit 8 is about actively challenging your brain to leverage neuroplasticity. Mental stimulation is an absolute must for supporting long-term cognitive health. When you force your brain to learn a completely new skill or practice a new language, you aren't just memorizing facts. You are physically altering the structure of your brain by building entirely new neural pathways. This creates a cognitive reserve that helps resist decline. So read challenging books, solve complex puzzles, and continually treat your brain like a muscle that demands a good workout. Rounding out our habits is habit 9, staying socially connected. This is often the most overlooked piece of health advice out there, but strong relationships profoundly impact your physical biology. Scientific studies consistently show that robust social connections actually lower cortisol and reduce blood pressure. Conversely, chronic loneliness has been shown to be as damaging to your long-term health as smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day. That's wild, right? Making time for meaningful conversations and shared activities with family and friends isn't just nice to do, it is a medical necessity. Isolation is the ultimate enemy of vitality. Finally, let's bring all of this together in section 5, your vitality investment plan.
Look, vitality isn't about perfectly executing one single thing. It is all about the synergy of these 3 pillars, fueling your physical engine, protecting your internal health, and nourishing your mind and soul. Think of it as biological compound interest. When you prioritize a good night's sleep, you have way more energy to tackle your 21 minutes of exercise the next day. That exercise naturally makes you crave high-quality, protein-rich foods, which in turn improves your sleep the following night. Small, consistent habits feed into an incredibly powerful, positive feedback loop that constructs a comprehensive strategy for a longer, healthier life.
I want to share a perspective from the source material that perfectly reframes this entire conversation. It says, turning 40 doesn't mean your health has to decline. In many ways, it can be the perfect time to invest in your future. I just love that. Getting older is not a guaranteed steep decline. It's an incredible opportunity for reinvention. It's a biological wake-up call to start making those small, consistent lifestyle changes right now so you can enjoy a highly active, energized life for decades to come. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Look back at the 10 science-backed habits we just explored. You absolutely do not have to tackle all 10 of them overnight. But knowing what you know now and understanding that the biology of your next decade is entirely shaped by the habits you choose to build today, what is the one single choice you are going to make tomorrow morning? Which habit will you start right now to actively